So obviously at the beginning of the year, everybody is just so excited about their New Year's resolutions. You're so excited about your goals for the next 12 months, where you're going to be by December, and just ready to feel like you're going to take over the world. Unstoppable. The energy is there. And then by March, you ain't looked at that vision board. New Year's resolutions out the window. You telling yourself you're going to start over in April. You giving yourself until May to start getting your summer body together. You forgot all about your goals. You never even look back at your journal, your vision board, wherever you put your goals. This happens to everybody. It happens every year. I don't want to say it's inevitable, because it's not. And if you use the system that I'm going to tell you about in this video, that will not be you this year. This year you will actually stick with your goals for the entire year, because you will have a system in place that doesn't allow you to forget about your goals. And even if you do, the system still keeps you in check when you start to slip and fall off. And now that I think about it, I went back and looked in my journal for 2024, and repeatedly, every single time that I felt myself slipping away and slipping off, I went back to the system, because that's how much it keeps you in check. Love it. If you're a subscriber, then you know the system, because I did a video on it before. But by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why most people fall off from their goals. Not even March, honestly. By like the second or third week of January, people are over it. Like, they're done with it. They're going to start again in 2026. Don't let that be you. There's just one step that so many people don't mention when they're doing videos about the 12-week year. And I didn't mention it in my first video, which is why I have to run it back. Like, I have to run it back. So make sure you stick around to see what that step is that a lot of people miss, and that I missed when sitting down to use this method for an amazing year. Setting New Year's resolutions and setting goals that you want to accomplish by December, it gives you so much time, and it gives you so much leeway to just put your goals off. Even when people say, oh, I want to have this body type by summer, or I want to have this physique by summer, you're giving yourself too much time. Your brain has too much space to be like, okay, if I didn't do it this month, I'll just do it again next month. I'll do it again next month, because 12 months is a very long time. In reality, it's not, but in your head, your brain is going to convince you that you have enough time and you can keep putting it off. If you flip that around and only give yourself 12 weeks, only 12 weeks, whatever goal it is that you have, give yourself 12 weeks to get there. The energy shifts. You don't feel like you have that much time, and you put all your energy into that goal, because it's only 12 weeks. It's literally a quarter. One quarter out of the year. Give yourself 12 weeks to focus on that goal, and watch how the energy changes. The 12-week year gives you a different kind of sense of urgency, because if you think about it, if every week counted as much as the previous week, and you had a deadline, like, I have to get this done this week, imagine how much you could get done. Imagine how much further you would be with your goals if you only had this week to focus on, and by Sunday you had to have it done. Whatever goal you set on Sunday, by that next Sunday, it's either you did it or you did not. That's the way that you measure your system. You're measuring it week by week with a 12-week year. You're not doing month by month, and you damn sure not doing on a 12-month span. You've done that. We've all done that. That's over with. That doesn't work. 12 months is too long. It's too long. And for a lot of us, we're procrastinators, and we get the job done when we have that sense of urgency and time starts winding down. And I hate to say it, but I am one of those people. Even when it comes to getting dressed, like, I will wait around and I will just like lollygag, and I convince myself that because the event doesn't start in 4 hours, I have so much time, when really you need to be getting dressed. But once that last hour hits, your girl, I gets it done. Okay, so shrinking it down to 12 weeks instead of 12 months creates a different kind of sense of urgency that helps you get there, because the deadline, it comes around and it keeps coming quicker than you think. But there is a catch, and not everyone will succeed with this method, because there's one thing that a lot of people miss out, and I'm going to mention that very shortly. Make sure you stick around, because this is the part where you need your pen and paper, because you need to write it down. If you were in a race and you were told you have 12 months to get to the finish line, and be honest and be realistic with yourself, would you sprint? You would not. You would probably jog, if not walk. I know my ass would be walking. If I got 12 months to get there, I'm going to walk. Like, what am I sprinting for? And this is what happens when you give yourself 12 months to finish your goals, or 12 months to get somewhere where you want to be in life. You to be jogging for the first couple of months. You to be jogging. And then once month 11 comes, once it's November, it's January, it's Thanksgiving, now you're trying to sprint. Now you're trying to sprint before December 31st. This is what happens with our goals. Once those ending months come and it's last quarter, everybody's trying to lock in. Winter arc, everybody's locking in. Because you played around for majority of the year because you thought you had so much time. Now you're trying to lock in for winter arc. Keep it real. The deadline is just like so far away that you keep giving yourself permission to slack off. Like, you give yourself too many chances to get it together when you're like, I have until December. It's better to say, I only have these 12 weeks to get it done. And if you're thinking that you're going to burn out, which is one of my main fears, like, I feel like if I put so much urgency on myself that I'm gonna burn out. Don't worry, I got you. So let's get very practical on how exactly you use the 12-week year. I use my iPad every now and then, but I like to write things down in my journal. I like to have it on pen and paper so that I can go back to it. So get you some pen and paper, or you can use your iPad, either one, but it needs to be written down somewhere. We're not just keeping mental notes, no. Step 1. For the next 12 weeks, you have 3 goals. In 12 weeks, pick 3 goals that mean the most to you, that you want to focus in on and hone in. Just 3. I feel like I'm going to narrow it down to 2, because when I did 3 last year, it was a lot having a 9-to-5, having a business, a YouTube channel. Those 3 goals really did take a lot out of me. So I think I'm going to do 2 for this first quarter. If this is your first time doing it, I do recommend starting off with 3 so you can see where you are and if you need to adjust for the second quarter. So choose your 3 goals and write down clear and plain what your goal is. It needs to be measurable. If you want to grow to 10K on TikTok, don't just put grow my TikTok channel. Grow by 10,000 subscribers by March 31st of 2024. If you want to lose 5 pounds, lose 5 pounds by March 31st, 2024. If you want to lose 2% body fat, put it plain and clear and something that you can measure week by week. It needs to be so clear and concise. Don't leave any room for interpretation. We're not doing 20 goals because we need to focus. We have to focus. When you put your focus on so many different things, you minimize and you lower the amount of energy that you can put into those things. So just choose 3 things to focus on. Step 2, you're going to break each goal down into weekly actions. So let's say, for example, your goal is to grow to 10K on TikTok. What weekly actions can you take each day to get there? Do you need to post every single day? Do you need to post 3 times a day? Do you need to post and go live at least twice a week? You need to write this down. On Monday, I need to post. On Tuesday, I need to post. Wednesday, I need to post. Thursday, and make it as a checklist that you can check off. And that'll be for your goal of reaching 10K subscribers. If you need to go live, that needs to be an action. Every Sunday, you need to go live if you need to grow. If you need to post 3 times a day, put times. You need to post in the morning. You need to post in the afternoon. You need to post at night. These needs to be things that you can check off, actions that you did. Make your actions. If it's fitness related, for me, if I want to build muscle and lose fat, I need to drink water. Let's just say I need to drink half a gallon of water. I also need to reach 10K steps. I also need to weight train at least 5 times a week. Those are 3 actions that I can add to my week for lose fat and build muscle. Actionable. Step 3, you need to be tracking your progress every single week. If you wouldn't go a day without brushing your teeth, then you should not go a day without looking at your progress and looking to see, did I do what I needed to in this day to get to my goal? So if for one day you should have posted on TikTok 3 times and you should have drunk half a gallon of water and you also should have hit 10K steps, by the end of that day, before you go to sleep and lay down, you need to look. It needs to be somewhere. This is why I say a journal. You need to have it in your journal so you can look back and be like, okay, today I did 5 out of the 6 actions. Great. Even if you only did 1 out of 6, great. We're not looking for perfection, only consistency. So track your progress. Now we're going to talk about the final step and the one thing that most people overlook. Most people set their goals, they say what they're going to get done, and when we make our goals and we write things down, we write them down as if life is perfect and things are not going to happen. It might be a day where you need to go out and run 2 miles and it's raining, or roads are closed, you have nowhere to run. Whatever it is, you have to plan for things to not always go according to the plan. And you have to have a system in place as to, if these things happen, this is what I'm going to do instead. For me, this year, if I'm unable to make it physically, put my body in the gym, I'm going to pick up them dumbbells in the house. It's non-negotiable. Like, there's no reason why I did not have intentional movement for the day. I need to do something in the house. If not, I should have go on a 30-minute walk. If it's too dark outside and I wasn't able to do it in the morning, I need to be doing some type of cardio in my house, whether it's a HIIT workout, whether it's jump rope, and like some type of intentional movement, even if it's just a walk. So set yourself up for your plans to fail. A lot of people overlook this and then they just give up because they're like, oh, I wasn't able to do it because this happened. And then that 1 week turns into the next week you weren't able to do it because you have this excuse. Circumstances are never going to be perfect. Like, they're never going to be perfect. And if you're able to master whatever it is you're trying to do when circumstances are not perfect, when circumstances do get a little bit better, it's easier because you've done it under worse conditions. And that's how I try to think of it. One thing that the 12-week year teaches you is that it is not about perfection. It's only about not giving up and putting in the work the next day. Like, once the day is over, it's done. It doesn't matter. You're going to start fresh the next day. Whether you didn't do anything on that list, you still have the next day to do it. And on Sunday, you're able to see, what did you actually do this week? Each week, you need to choose a day. For me, it's Sundays. And you need to reflect on what worked, what didn't work. What were you able to do? What were you not able to do? And why? Get very detailed. That's one thing that I want to be more intentional about when doing this the second round, is being detailed and going into the why on why it didn't get done. So you're able to see, sometimes we are the problem. Like, I hate to say it, but sometimes I am the problem. Like, there's no way that one tiny little thing that happened in the morning threw me off completely to where I didn't do anything. And I'm that type of person. Like, when something throws me off my emotions, I'm done for the day. I gotta readjust the next day. And I want to make it a habit to stop and check myself and realize it's not that deep and you can get back on track. And when you're doing this, sometimes you'll realize that you need to let go of a goal and that it's not as significant as you thought it was, and that you can replace that with something else that will have a greater impact on you. And that's fine. The 12-week year is not about being so strict and having these rigid things that you just cannot get away from, but it's more about having a system that allows you to be flexible and still go according to the plan, which is why I love it so much. I'm so glad I came across it. You have to give it a try this year. You have to. There's one more piece of the puzzle that ties this all together. And of course, like always, it is the mindset shift that you need to make in order for it to work. It's always going to tie back to your mindset. Always. If you're thinking, what if you lose motivation? Keep in mind that motivation comes from momentum and moving. If you feel unmotivated, you feel lazy, you don't want to get up, you don't want to go to the gym, move your body. That's when the motivation is going to come. It doesn't just spark. Sometimes it does, but most of the times you have to start moving first, and then that's when you gain that momentum. It's like, okay, let me get this done. Let me get this done. So always remember, you have to put the action first. The feeling will follow. And not only that, this year, we're not following our emotions. We're following the plan. Forget how you feel. F your feelings. Like, F how you feel this year. It's just F how you feel. Go according to the plan. Emotions are fleeting. They come and they go and they switch up on us every single day. Like, especially as a girl, I'm just a girl. No, but seriously, like, we cannot be out here trusting our emotions and depending on our emotions to get us to where we want to go. You have to just follow the plan. Follow the plan. Stick to the plan. Momentum is going to be motivation every single time. Just do it. Literally just do it. It doesn't matter how you feel. You said you were going to do something, so do it. And once you start to prove that to yourself, I'm a person who says I'm a person who says and does what I'm going to do. I'm a person who says I'm going to do something and I actually get it done. You're not going to need the motivation. You're just a girl who does what she says she's going to do, and you get shit done. Period. The one thing that I do want you to take away from this video is, throughout the year, you're going to have to adjust, because that's life. As long as you do not completely give up and throw the towel in, adjustments are going to have to be made. That's life. Just don't give up on your goals. And don't just watch this video. Take the next 5 minutes to actually write down your 3 goals and what actions you need to take every week to get there. Of course, and like always, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.